Hi, Junior with today's thought. You've all heard the expression, you can't make this up. Well, this is going to be one of those occasions where you want to say you can't make this up. But I'm not making it up, and I'm showing you a video to prove it. And you may have already seen this video. You already may know about this. It depends. Well, if you watch the conservative stations, if you watch Fox News, which is where this video comes from, then you very likely know this. But if you don't, if you watch the NBC, ABC, the mainstream media, whose job, they see their job as mainly to elect Democrats and to protect Joe Biden specifically. So if that's where you're getting your news, you may not have seen the video I'm going to show. You may not even know about this. But well, we've all seen how tightly Biden is controlled by the people around him, these Obama holdovers. They are scared to death of letting him speak contemporaneously, just to say what he's thinking. In fact, and there are times when he does, and it's often a disaster, and he makes a comment that has to be walked back, or it shows him just mumbling, and that he didn't get his meds that day, or they forgot to hop him up on whatever stimulant he used at the State of the Union message. But if he says something, it's gotten so bad, as you're going to see in this video, you'll learn from this video, it's so bad, I would say that every time Biden makes a gaffe, those are the times that he's speaking freely. If it goes well, if he doesn't make a gaffe, it's scripted for him. Anytime he says something, it's not a matter of he speaks freely sometimes, and every so often he'll make a gaffe. I'm saying, or misspeak, or just say something that's crazy, or just non sequiturs, a string of non sequiturs. I'm not saying that he'll speak just freely, and that these things will happen sometime. I'm saying that it's getting to the point where, and I don't have proof, but where I can almost think that every time he makes a gaffe or stumbles or just says, as I said, a string of non sequiturs, every one of those are the only times he's speaking freely. If he makes a gaffe, he's speaking freely, and if it makes sense, if he says something that makes sense, then it's scripted for him, and that's what you're going to see right now. Now, Sage STEELE, if you don't know who she is, she's an ex-anchor or a talking head or whatever on the sports network, ESPN, and she had done, and I don't know, I don't watch ESPN, so I don't know the circumstances of her. Did she get fired? Did she leave? But I see the possibility. It wouldn't surprise me if she did something, because they're very woke. I mean, they're very political. This is a sports channel, remember? And it wouldn't surprise me that she did something politically incorrect, or something that would be harmful for Democrats in general, or for Joe Biden in particular, and that led to her being fired or asked to resign or whatever. Now, I don't know, and I don't have proof. I'm just speculating. I don't watch the station. But now that she no longer works at ESPN, she can speak freely. She can say whatever she wants, and she's going to be speaking freely in this video that you're about to see. But to sum it up very, very simply, that she interviewed Joe Biden, and it looked like a spontaneous interview, and Biden was sharp in answering the questions and so on. Now, we've seen occasions where, almost every time, where, if he does a press conference, you see, if it's not a press conference, if he's making a statement and questions come, sometimes he'll say, well, am I allowed to take questions? In other words, do my handlers, the people that, shoot me up with the stimulants, and guard my every waking moment, and buy the anchor shoes and have me go up the rear stairs of Air Force One, because I can no longer be relied on to make it all the way up without tripping up the regular stairs that anybody that Trump could. Okay, so those people. So sometimes he'll do an actual press conference and take questions. And as we've all seen, he has a list of people with their pictures, so he knows who the reporters are. And they're pre-screening the questions. We all know that they're pre-screening the questions, and so he knows what he's going to be asked before he's asked, and he picks out the people who are going to ask the question. Now, every so often you'll see somebody. Usually Peter Doocy of Fox News will get a spontaneous question in, and Biden will respond, and he'll either screw it up or he'll lie, flat out lie, whatever. But what you'll see in this video, and what Sage Steele is going to say, it's not just that the questions are determined in advance that she would ask. She said every word of the interview that she did with him, and you'll see a little excerpt in the beginning. She said every word was, or virtually every word, I'll say, maybe she's exaggerating a little, but just about every second of that interview was pre-scripted, and not just by the White House, but she said that it went beyond the editors that are just right above her, but all the way to the top. The higher executives, they went over this over and over and scripted everything that happened in that interview ahead of time. So there were no surprises for Biden. He knew what he was going to be asked, and who knows, if he knew all the questions, he may have, now I don't have proof of this either, so I'm not saying this for sure, but it would not surprise me if some of his handlers rehearsed that interview with Biden ahead of time. So he'd already had mock interviews, just as you would have before debates, presidential debates. They have mock debates to take the tough questions and answer, and have answers prepared. So I've talked enough. I'm going to show you the video now. This is Sage Steele, and just listen to what she has to say.
For a wonderful day in sports, opening day for America's national pastimes.
This was about 2 months after he took office. That was an interesting experience in its own right, because it was so structured, and I was told, you will say every word that we write out. You will not deviate from the script, and go to the word. Like, every single question was scripted, gone over dozens of times by many executives, editors and executives. Absolutely. I was on script and was told not to deviate. It was very much, this is what you will ask, this is how you will say it. No follow-ups. No follow-ups. Next. I knew that this was a lot bigger than just the wonderful editors that I worked with. This went up to the fourth floor, as we said, that where all the bosses, the top executives, the decision makers are, the president of our company, the CEO, where they all worked. The big picture to me is that I think it's heartbreaking. I think it's really heartbreaking that the people who love Joe Biden and say they truly care about him have allowed it to get to this point. So I'm not even looking at this from a political angle or my beliefs in anything. This is the human side of it. And when someone is struggling, we allow them to continue to be in the spotlight and put them out there in the first place when they knew there were issues. Of course, they had to know. So it's a humanity thing with me, where I don't care where anyone stands and what they vote in for or who they believe in. Do you really care about that person? As a father, as a husband, as everything.
I don't have anything to add to what you just saw, but just remember that man that she interviewed is the president of the United States, and the most, I should do a poll update soon. There's been a little shift. The polls are getting closer now, and actually the two most recent polls show Biden ahead by 2 points, I think, and there's some ties there. So, and the betting averages are getting narrower too. I think it's slightly less than 7 points spread between Trump and Biden. Trump is still ahead, but it's narrowing. So you have to really be concerned about what you just saw, because the chances are increasing. Now we'll have to wait and see. Wall Street Journal just did a series of polls, and that still shows Trump ahead in all of the swing states, okay, the 7 swing states. But there are only 3 of the 7 where he is ahead outside of the margin of error. So there is a concern there too, because remember, if Biden cannot make it through it, never mind, we see how everything has to be scripted for him now, and how out of it he is now. But the chances of him, if he's reelected, the chances of him making through his entire term, I would say that's diminishing very quickly every single day. And that means the chances are increasing every day that Kamala Harris will be the president of the United States. And I would not be surprised if his cabinet, and especially if the Democrats manage to keep the Senate, I could even see the cabinet, all Democrats, and these are all Obama holdovers, using the 25th Amendment to get Biden out, or forcing him to resign, or whatever, or siding with the Republicans in impeaching Biden and forcing him out of office. And I can see Biden, I could even see Biden in his first week, maybe on his first day, saying, okay, I've been reelected. I'm going to resign now, and my legacy will be to have forced, without an election, a presidential election on her part, Kamala Harris, the first black woman president of the United States for 4 years, minus 1 day. So that's something to think about. You might want to rewind, watch that video again, and I guess that's my thought for today. Not a happy one. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, I've gotten several subscribers in the last few days, so welcome all these subscribers. And all the ones before, I really appreciate it. I'm now getting enough subscribers. When I was only getting like 1 or 2 every week or something, I could individually thank all of you. Now I can't do it anymore, but I can only say that I really, really appreciate it. And I would also appreciate your comments, if you have them for it. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. You can put your comments below the video. And if you could subscribe too, that would really be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.